You had your time, but it isn't now. Locker room's talking, I need you to zip it now.
I mean, we might as well just start. Let's just start. That's what I like about it.
Have you noticed?
We don't
Have you noticed?
do the warm up, do we? We just
No.
get right into it.
There's no. What's the warm up? We're hot, baby. Episode 167. We're hot. Right out of the docket.
Easy. So I interrupted you. You were going to say something. You noticed something. Were you about to chirp me?
I noticed the Zoom thing. It tells you that it's starting to record now. Did you see
Okay,
that?
that's never done that before.
That's correct.
You know what?
So
It's an update. I bet
It's
you
an
it's an update.
our good friends over at Film Rage, they were telling me all about it because they were having the hell of a time with it yesterday. A hell of a time.
What were they doing? Did you go to that meeting? I didn't go to that meeting. Did you go to the
I
meeting?
did go. Everything's good. We'll talk about it after. Let's get going here. Listen, I got a quick little thing. Hey, baseball. I got a thing with you again. I got a little something. Can I just start with baseball a little bit?
Yeah, of course, man.
So two things happened last week, right? This baseball thing that I'm about to get into, and then Bitcoin. Man, did Bitcoin take a beating last week? What happened to all you Bitcoiners? Loving your product. Now, granted, it's recovered slightly, but this is the whole thing. Up and down. Damn, man. How did people must have very strong stomachs that are in the crypto side of the business?
Dude, man, this is crazy. It's crazy. It's a bad relationship. It's great when things are great, but boy, is it bad. Like when the argument happens, the argument happens. Mitch, you know where I stand on Bitcoin.
Yeah,
man.
I know. I was just saying. I mean,
but it is, but hey, that's the people that are playing in that space, Mitch. They can't get mad at this. This is the volatility. You have to accept it, and you got to be willing to take it, right? You really got to be willing to take it on the chin.
I agree.
Or
Can I tell you a little
last
something?
week somewhere else?
Yeah. Guess what? I might have joined a little bit. I might have touched a little of the crypto.
You and the
I had to.
you touched the crypto.
Old cousin Jim has been around me. His son, my godson's all over. My brother's all over. Everyone's like, "Come on, join in." And I'm like, and then after the shit kicking, I said, "Hey, I mean, if you're gonna jump in now, right? I've done okay. I'm a crypto guy now.
You're
I'm
a crypto guy.
I'm the crypto
and
guy.
You didn't consult me. You didn't come talk to me.
I didn't go heavy. I just did a little. Just I wanted a little taste. I wanted to see what it'll taste like. You know what I mean?
You know what? There's nothing. Hey, there's nothing wrong with it, man. Like I said, there's money to be made there. There's money, like anything. There's money to be made, money to be lost. But hey,
Yeah. So now off to baseball. So last week I'm perusing the internet. You know I do that, and I noticed. Baseball is known to have some crazy injuries. A couple of years ago, there was a player. I didn't get his name. I can't remember it, but a guy had to go on the DL because he got severe sunburn from a tanning booth. So he went into the tanning booth, got severe burn, stayed in there a little too long. So he went on the DL. Well, this one from the Cleveland Indians pitcher, Zach Plesac, this week broke his finger, and he's not going to be out for weeks. They're saying up to months. He's one of their best pitchers. And it was described as aggressively taking his shirt off in the dressing room. He broke his thumb aggressively taking off his shirt after the game. Thoughts on baseball and these injuries?
Okay, so remember I just told you that you went and you bought crypto and you didn't consult good advice, Mitch. You didn't come to your boy over here.
I didn't come. Sorry.
You didn't come and say, "Hey, give me a couple pointers." See, this guy over here who injured his thumb ripping his shirt, he made the same mistake. If you're going to rip your shirt, there's only one guy you talk to. That's Hulk Hogan. He's done it for years. He knows how to rip the shirt. He knows how to keep it controlled. And this wouldn't have happened. So you got to seek professional help. He should have contacted the Hulkster, Mitch.
He should have contacted the. I'm thinking about his whole scenario. What was going on that he needed to rip off his shirt that fast, that aggressively, as they detailed it, that he broke his thumb? You're a pitcher. This is your baby. This is your thumb. Is your work. It's your.
Like, what did he break it on? Did he whack a locker?
I think he hit a chair or something.
He hit a
chair. I mean, okay, watch this motion up, and then how did you hit a chair taking off a shirt? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's an up down.
Unless he ripped it, right? Unless he went this way.
Ripped it this way. Boom, hit that. The word aggressive was used. So, but again, what was the hurry? You won, you lost the game. There's 163 of these things, man. What's the problem?
In all fairness, this is where I respect baseball, Mitch, and I condemn hockey. At least we know the truth. At
Mhm.
least they said, look, he sustained a thumb injury due to ripping a shirt and hitting a chair. I can work with that. You can
Yeah.
work with that. I feel I appreciate the honesty as opposed to day to day with an upper body injury. That doesn't
Well
tell me
said.
nothing.
That's a good point. That's a great point.
You know
Baseball,
what?
take a
Baseball,
hockey note.
I'll give
Yeah.
you 1 point. I'll give you 1 point.
They're honest. Those baseball guys, they're honest people. Honest people.
They are, you know, baseball is not, when you hear baseball, you hear honesty, right?
Yeah, you
No
do.
cheating,
No,
no behind the scenes stuff.
no, nothing. You
You're
know, well
really-
done, baseball. You're the honest brother of the group. Yeah, he's the rat, if you will. He's the one that's gonna rat on NHL and NFL whenever he gets a chance to.
Oh my goodness.
So
So good, Mitch. But you know what? That one's bad. Like, that one's bad.
Well, the one where the guy got a sunburn, it was years ago. I should have got his name. I forgot to do it, but the guy got a sun. How do you show up at the dressing room going, "Hey, Skip, I can't play tonight. I've got third-degree burns." Oh my God, what happened? I was in the tanning bed a little too long. At this moment, they should void your contract. That's the way I look at it. You got to have your contract voided.
Who's his handler?
Who's his handler?
That's
And then
what I
do you
wanna
blame
know.
the machine? Well, maybe the machine was wrong. Or was he trying to get away from the tan lines? I'll bet you he was trying to get away from the tan lines.
See, this is why Jerry Maguire is still the greatest agent of all time, because that guy cared. Okay, you
Yeah.
go into the personal life. These agents, they're all about the money, Mitch. It's too much business going on.
Quick thing. Tan lines, no tan lines. Thoughts?
Either or. I respect them both. I respect them both.
We know
But
what
if
we're
you-
talking about here, right?
We know what we're talking about. But you know, the thing is if you're gonna go tan line, I'm cool.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah.
roll it up a bit. You know what I mean?
Just-
Same with guys. Pro tip here. Okay,
Yeah.
You're on the beach.
Right.
You're on vacation.
Mhm.
You got your swim trunks. Maybe you
Yeah.
got them short. Maybe you got border shorts. They're long. Either way, if you're gonna tan, roll it up.
A little bit. Or what's wrong with the Speedo?
Who are you talking?
What's wrong
to,
with the
Mitch?
Speedo?
Mitch, who
Hey.
are you talking to right now?
I'm just
Come on,
saying.
there's nothing wrong with the Speedo. It's my
Nothing's wrong
game.
with the Speedo.
It's my game. I got the European Speedo
Okay.
short.
I've never seen you on the beach. Hopefully I never do. But I imagine you to be a Speedo guy. I do. I've always thought of you as a Speedo guy.
I do. Look, I have two types of trunks. I either have like the really like Speedo, like booty short Speedos.
Yeah.
Okay. Or I just have short, just regular swim trunks, right? You know, very European.
Yeah.
But the thing is this, I'll tell you this. The reality is that go into the water. If I give you, go get a Speedo, go get a tight swim trunk. Okay.
Yeah.
Whether it's
Okay.
the Speedo or the short, and go swimming in the ocean. And you tell me when you come out of that ocean, you've never felt freer. You're like a dolphin in the water,
Really?
Mitch.
You're one with the water. Yes. I would imagine.
No sand. You
No.
think you got sand problems? I
Nothing.
come out with no sand. I don't need to open my trunks under the shower head, Mitch. I'm
Yeah.
done.
You're done. Finished. There it is.
Done.
There it is. You're welcome, Speedo. You're welcome. A little free advertising. Dimitri, tell the people where they can find us. Maybe never want to find us again after that Speedo comment, but go ahead.
Well, after this visual, you might never want to come back. But no, the reality is, look, if you're on Twitter and you're on Instagram, you just got to search the handle at RLRT Podcast. If you're on Facebook, just search Real Locker Room Talk. And the same thing, kind of, for YouTube. You can search Real Locker Room Talk, but the reality is we got Amy on board and she's helping us. She put in RLRT TV. What? What are you guys talking about? That's the channel, ladies and gentlemen. You can't catch the podcast. You're not a podcaster to download from Spotify, iTunes, or Podbean. Not a problem. On YouTube, RLRT TV. You can get the whole playlist. We're putting them up right there. And we're going to do some fun clips for you as well for your listening and or viewing pleasure. We're growing. We got Amy to thank for that. She's been a wonderful gem. So many people helping this project, but really appreciate it, roster. But yeah, follow us on the handles, Spotify, iTunes, Podbean. Of course, if you want the podcast to listen to. But Mitch, we gotta get going because I know we got a pretty good show today that's a little jam-packed. We're going to be talking a bit about the NHL playoffs, the NBA playoffs, but you had another couple tidbits on there.
Of course, we got we just said a little baseball. We got a little basketball, rapid banter, quick pick six. And of course, we ended with a little Maga Malaka. And for all those that know me and the Dimitri, and especially know me, it's not the same Amy. Just throwing that out there. We move on. All right, it's quick pick.
Different Amy.
I had to clarify that because I'm sure a lot of people are going, wait a minute.
Whoa.
Wait, whoa, what's this guy doing over here? Dimitri, that's the kind of guy I am. Honest, like baseball. I'm honest.
True question. True
Yeah.
question.
True question. Go ahead.
I don't want to open up the vault.
I think you might be. Go on.
But did you go back? Like, whatever.
Mm.
Did you do the last hurrah? Did you go
No.
back?
No.
You didn't.
No. Hey. Couldn't.
Could
It
it?
was-
Okay.
Couldn't do
That's
it.
it.
Hope she's well. Would you rather be called a donkey or be called sneaky? Which
Donkey.
is worse?
Donkey.
Donkey. So the reason I bring this up, PA got mad at me this week. He never gets mad because I called him sneaky. He got upset with me.
Well, yeah, Mitch. Sneaky denotes liar. There's a lot of things with sneaky. Up to no good, liar. I could. Yeah, I don't like that.
You don't like the sneaky.
I
You'd
see
rather
why
me
he
call
got mad
you
at you.
donkey. Yeah, he got upset.
Yeah, I'd
He
rather
never
be
gets upset.
Be like, you're sneaky. Be like, what are you trying to say?
That's exactly the way he acted. I was like, take it easy. Why are you getting so defensive? Which made me wonder. Would you rather sit in the COVID vaccinated seats, but in the bleacher section, or front row non-vaccinated seats? Boom.
You know what? Bleacher vaccinated seats. I'm gonna do my part.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you.
See
Would
what
you
I
rather?
did?
I guess your nose will be bleeding up there, but I'm sure it was just the height of where you are. Has nothing to do with it.
Oh,
Okay. Would you rather be sitting in the pool all day or the sand all day, but you can't go into the water? So you're sitting near a pool, but you can't get in. Would you rather be on the sand portion of it or just on the at a swimming pool in and around? Which is more luring that you'd rather not?
give me near the pool.
Yeah, I agree. I think so.
Yeah,
When
give
you're on
me
the
near the
sand, it's I feel like the sand makes it very hot.
It'll
You
get
wanna
hotter.
It'll
Yeah,
get hotter.
it'll get hotter, Mitch. That's all.
Yeah. Would you rather be a ring girl in boxing or a ring girl at the MMA fights?
Boxing.
Boxing. Would you rather be the goat of snooker or the goat of darts?
Darts.
Darts.
You know what? Look, I'm going to tell you, I like pool better. Like, I'm a better pool player and I actually like playing it better. But you tell me with those crowds, they love their dart player.
Of course.
Like they love that guy.
It is a crazy crowd. It looks fun. They got names, like boxers have names like the Viper and Dynamite Kid or whatever they got, right? And then they have weird haircuts.
Yeah.
They're all drinking beer. The fans are wearing they have signs and they're all dressed up.
You know
It
we're
looks
going
like a
one
fun
day,
event.
right? You know we're going.
To.
We have to.
I know we've said that. We have to go.
We have to go. What are you doing?
Last
Dart
one.
competition?
Would you rather be the GM or the coach of a Stanley Cup winning team?
Oh, give me the coach.
Coach, huh?
Yeah. And you know what? I think it's a different level of excitement, right? Like you're there with the players. Give me the coach. Give me the coach.
Well, let's get right into it. It's NHL Dump and Chase. Let's have a little bit of fun. Real quick little tidbit. May 26th, just a few days ago, Dimitri, 32 years ago to the date, actually, the Calgary Flames win their Stanley Cup. Just wanted to throw that out there. It's been that long. I actually remember watching them win the Stanley Cup against the Montreal Canadiens, only team to beat Montreal at home to win the Cup. Great times. What's your quick little memory? Quick little memory of the Flames winning the Stanley Cup 32 years ago.
Look, the memory is to tell you the truth, is a Lanny McDonald goal, like that iconic scene where he scores and he's just celebrating and skating around. So to me that's one of them.
You know what? You literally took mine as well, man. I loved Lanny. He looked, at the end, and he's got no jersey on and he's holding up the cup. That was a man that worked his ass off to get to that exact moment. That's what it looks like. Hard work. Well done, Calgary Flames. Hey, too bad it'll be another 32 years since we see that, if we ever see that again. Dimitri, the Stanley Cup playoffs are in full effect, my friend. It's been an unreal. Me and you kind of quickly chatted this week. Dude, you brought it up. Tell the people what you said when it comes to this particular NHL. I think it's the fans But dude, you have kind of a different inkling in why these playoffs seem to be so good right now.
Yeah. And so part of it, we talked the last few weeks about the fans and the apology that I think needs to be given out. But the reality, Mitch, is yes, the fans are doing it, no question. But I think it is the setup. And so we talked about the beginning of the season. And I think you and I were both, we were fans. We're like, this new NHL is going to be pretty cool. We like as Canadians, we like this Canadian division. We like how they changed it up, 4 conferences. Life's good. Maybe COVID helped. Well, as the season went on, I think you and I can agree we both changed our tune because it was boring to watch the same games over and over and over and over again. And it took its toll. And there was a big chunk that I was very disinterested in watching NHL hockey and really only keeping up to it just so we don't sound completely stupid when we come on the podcast. I'll be honest. But now I look at the playoffs and I think I'm at the point where I would much rather take a garbage regular season of teams building this rivalry and rapport to have these playoffs.
Yes.
These playoffs have been outstanding. I know we say it every year, and NHL is one of the leagues, if not, it probably is the best league for parity amongst teams. But this year it's even at new levels. These games are fantastic. You really don't know who's going to win. They're all great teams and you could combine a lot. Is it the salary cap? But I just think when you're playing a team so much, like let's look at just what happened with some of these. You had Pittsburgh Islanders. I'm sure we're going to touch in on that.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh seeding, 1 versus 4, but they know each other. And Mitch, you called it. You picked the Islanders because you said, look, they got a history and they're playing each other. And what an even matchup. We're looking at Tampa Bay, Florida. I mean, I can't remember a time that I was so interested to watch a series that close. Minnesota Vegas is going into game 7. Like we're watching a lot of this stuff, happening. Edmonton, Winnipeg. I'm not going to ruin it, but this is the result of you can't take any team for granted. 1 versus 4 is not a lock anymore. 1 versus 8 is not a lock anymore. And I think the fact that they really know each other, the preparation that has come into the playoffs to play real good playoff hockey has been fantastic. I give top marks to all the series, even the Colorado St. Louis. It was still a good series to watch. I give top marks to all the series. And I also give top marks again. I got to give it to the Americans. You Americans, on top of it with the fans in your COVID response are saving the Canadian game once again. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
Dude, couldn't agree more. I was very worried because some of these teams have already played each other 10 times, whatever. So I said to myself, this is going to be a boring match until it's the Final Four. Completely wrong on that factor. You're absolutely right. But I do believe that having the fans, I mean, think about it. This is where the NHL, I think, did a full MAGA move. They didn't bring the fans in maybe 2 or 3. I mean, I know some teams did. They threw in sprinkled a few fans during the regular season, but they said, wait until the playoffs. If your team happens to make it, doors are full open. Come on in. And I think that has been the absolute change of game because all of a sudden when Carolina is playing Nashville, during the regular season, Carolina had their number, but all of a sudden we go back to Nashville where, I mean, that's one of the best home ice advantages in the NHL. Series got tied at 2. We're going to talk about it real quick, but I do think it's the fans that are saving it, but it's that essence. Granted, it's playoff hockey. That is in itself already awesome. It's the fans that have taken this over the top. I couldn't agree with you more, partner. Let me see all these guys go at it a little bit more because it has been a great playoffs. Let's start with the series that have ended and or have been finished, and then we'll move our way all the way down to, I think we all know where we're going to end it because that one will be very fun. Don't want to say I called it.
Fun for you.
I called it.
I like it.
All right, let's start with Colorado, St. Louis. You know what? It ended 4-0. Pretty easy. Colorado did, I got to be honest, they did what they said they were going to do. They walked in, they smashed them. St. Louis was very far behind when it came to a point differential, and it showed. What were your thoughts on that? I mean, do you think Colorado is that good, or it's just, at the end of the day, St. Louis isn't that great?
I think a little bit of both happened here. I think Colorado is that good, very talented, very fast. very physical, a lot of good character guys on that team, Mitch. And I think, depending on where you are, some teams will just get overlooked. I don't think Colorado's a team that gets overlooked, but they're a lot more physical and grittier than maybe they might get credit for because they score and they're fast. But I think St. Louis is, look, 2 years ago, they won the Stanley Cup, couple changes to the team. But to say that because Pietrangelo left and Krug is in, that wasn't the difference. But, I will say a lot, like losing a few key pieces on defense, they just couldn't perform, right? Like and when you have a potent offense like that, like, Mitch, not even having guys like Bouwmeester, for example, playing is, is a factor, and you need all the pieces, right? You really, really do. So I think, Colorado's the real deal. I think we knew that they were going to, that they were heavy favorite to win. I think the three of us, and I mean Johnny Hockey, we picked it. But St. Louis missing some pieces, but not going away anytime soon either.
No, I think, you know what, a couple of years ago, the Blues did win the Stanley Cup, but let's call it what it was. The Blues were hot. They were the worst team in January and then just pulled up their trousers, went crazy. And it was a locomotive. It was a freight train going down the train. No one was stopping them. Not even Denzel and Chris Pine could stop that in that movie that they were in where they stopped that freight train. They couldn't stop it. St. Louis Blues were hot. They couldn't be stopped. That's all that was. Colorado looking good. One last thing. Hey, Nassim Kadri, chill out, buddy. Relax, man. Why is it that every playoffs you need to go and get yourself suspended and make it controversial? He's appealing the thing. Look, the hit, you can always say to yourself, well, look at it in slow motion. Dude, you crushed the guy. Open it. It was horrible. And you know what? He deserves the 8 games, and he's lucky he's only getting 8. Because he'll be back. The way Colorado's playing, they'll be back. He'll be back in the Final Four, whatever's going to happen here. But man, why does this guy always have to make himself known that way?
What a dumb penalty to make during the playoffs, Mitch. The other or suspension, I should say. But I don't mind that he's challenging it. Why not? See if you can get less games. Why not?
Hey, fight it. Go ahead. We'll see how that goes for you. From there, let's go over to Washington, Boston. Here I go and say, hey, Washington, sloppy seconds of Dimitri. I like your pick, Dimitri. I want second. You knew something. You knew, and you didn't tell your buddy. So you go, let me go do it. And you go, you know what? That's not a good friend, Dimitri. That's not a good friend.
You fell for the oldest trick in the book, Mitch. I picked him to win the cup in the regular season, knowing full well that you would get jealous and pick them too. I never believed in them.
Can I just say something? I ended up marrying her. That was the thing, right? You had her, I had her. And instead of you saying, hey, whoa, what are you doing? No, like a piece of shit that you are, you just let me go and do what I did. Listen, this one surprised. I thought this was at least going to go 7 to end in 5 the way it did. Did we underestimate Boston? I know Johnny Hockey liked them. I know you liked them, but dude, I mean, do you guys actually think they were that good?
I didn't think it would be this quick, Mitch. I thought Washington would put up a better fight, but I don't know what to say. I'm going to use my words carefully, but you almost got this, and I don't mean it literally, but it was like a disinterest in Washington. That hunger didn't feel that it was quite there. And I don't know if anyone individually played bad. It was just collectively they just got really outworked by Boston. And the other thing too is, Boston has been a fantastic team the last 3 years. They won the President's Trophy in recent as well. Like this is not a joke of a team, and they're very well coached, and everyone contributes in Boston.
Yeah.
But if you look, it's funny what they've done too. Like now I look at the organization and I say, you know how earlier you said with Washington, oh, Dimitri, you must have known something that I didn't. Boston knows something. This is a team that trades up to draft a guy like Dougie Hamilton in a year, right? In the first round, only to give him away. Then in the last year, they give away Krug and they give away Chara, who ends up being on Washington that they're playing against. Like There's something in that organization, Cam Neely and all those guys up there, that look and really know when to detach from a guy. They really
Well, you know what
do.
it is? Dimitri, you said it beautifully. It's something that the Flames and the Oilers need to do. It's called good management. They're not attached to the asset. Because if Chara played for the Flames, he'd still be here. He'd still be here. In a rocking chair, he'd still be here. It doesn't make a difference, right?
Yeah.
The one thing I noticed about Washington, and I'm an idiot, I fell for it again. Old. They're getting older. Like, look, I'm not trying to be rude, but Boston is Washington, the younger version. Okay. They got good veterans. They got younger guys. And what did they do? And you look at Washington, dude, I love Ovechkin. I always have. I think he's great. But dude, for anybody that thinks he's ever going to catch Gretzky's record, if this didn't show you, he can't catch up with these guys anymore. It's not because he's a bad player. It's just that's how much faster this game is, you guys. And that's just all it is. And then with all due respect to Johnny Hockey, goaltending was the better factor in this game. It was Rass versus whoever the guy is. I don't even know anymore. The Washington Capitals they you know what? I don't know why I picked them. I did. Actually, I'll tell you why I picked them. I picked them because I thought Ovi had a little bit more in the tank. I thought Chara. I thought the veteran guys were going to make the other younger guys play up, but the whole team in essence is a little bit older. So I guess in hindsight, 4-1 isn't that crazy of a thought, but I thought a little bit more fight out of Washington. I'll be honest with
you. Again, that's why I say there was this weird, almost disinterested style. I mean, if Washington's not going to go anywhere. They made, we talked about the three teams that we thought that won the trade deadline, if you will, and Washington being one of them. They added, Mantha and some really good pieces. And I think where we got caught up, Mitch, is that we didn't realize that they brought in Chara to be almost the focal point. Mm-hmm. These kind of guys should be there to help, not be the solution. So that could have been it.
Absolutely true. In one of the most entertaining series, it ended, unfortunately, because I won't lie to you, even though I took Tampa Bay to win, and I'm still kicking myself over it, 4-2 over the Florida Panthers in the series. What a fun series. This was, you know what, Tampa Bay and Florida, I give you claps, man. You know what? We used to make fun of you guys going, you guys don't know anything about hockey. Probably the best hockey I've seen, most entertaining, and the fans are there. Where we make fun of the fans not there. They were there in both cities, both arenas. Thoughts on the Tampa Bay defending champions knocking down the Florida Panthers?
Yeah, it was super fun to watch, Mitch. It was great hockey all around. And I mean, even when they were running up the score, the teams were playing good. It's not like the defense collapsed or the goaltending was bad. It was just the forwards were just playing that good. Everything was great. I thought it was super fun. Not really surprised. Again, we talked about it. Tampa Bay just didn't have the pressure of being not like really number one. And, but all they got to do is just get in here, right? They're very Detroit type team, right? And this is the thing. The star players are back and playing good.
Yeah.
Like everyone's doing their part, man.
The timing, and guys, as much as I hate to say this, watch out. I mean, they're defending champs for a reason. They're a good team. I hate admitting it. I didn't give them their accolades. You guys all know I hate them, but the point is respect is respect. From there, let's go to the team. Hey, take your time on this. Take your time. It ended yesterday. Islanders, Penguins, 4-2 series. You know what? I really enjoyed it. I caught myself actually watching it the other night, and I have to say something. I took the Islanders. I said, there's just something. They have their number. But, dude, this Islander team is good. Like, they're better than I kind of maybe – like, I've never said that I'm a big NHL guy and I watch every game. I sat down and watched them 2 nights in a row, or both of their games, the last 2 games, and I like the way the Islanders play, man. I like it.
Mitch, you're going to love what I'm about to say right now. And I think if everyone were to mimic a playbook on how to rebuild the team, you got to look at what the Islanders done as an organization. So let's think about this, right? In years back, this was a slow burn. In years back, they got guys, like Boychuk and Leddy. Okay. So they worked on the defense. They worked on the goaltending. They had a couple people come in and out. Okay. Next thing that they did, they brought in the coach. They made changes. They traded their star player. They brought in a GM, and it's one after one after one, and they built the team out, and they put in a lot of quality in there. And this is what you get, right? This is what you get. And look, yeah, you know what? This doesn't surprise me. The Islanders are a good team. Pittsburgh, game 5, they shot themselves in the foot. They dominated the game. I watched the whole game. It happened to be one of the few games that I watched the entire game. They both played well, but Pittsburgh should have won that game. And to have your goaltender literally give the game away, that sucks. Now you're leaving it up to chance. And again, game 6 was just a fantastic game that the Islanders happened to just be on top. And that's just the way it goes. But it was a good series. It was a good series. The reality, though, is if you're the Pittsburgh Penguins at this point in time, you're running out of time where you can have Crosby, Malkin, Letang, and be able to bring in a Jeff Carter, a Zucker, and bring in these pieces. Like, your window is now shrinking because Boston and the Islanders represent the brand new guard of that division. Where, but we go back to even 10 years. What did we see? Pittsburgh, Washington, Pittsburgh, Washington, Pittsburgh, Washington, Pittsburgh, Washington. They're getting older. They're trying to complement that team. And these two young guys just came out and emerged, and justifiably so. Here's the new look of that division, Mitch.
Couldn't agree more, man. I'm actually pumped about that Boston Islanders series. When would you ever heard me say that? Looking forward to watching that one.
No clue who's going to win. 7 games and question mark. That's my pick.
Couldn't agree more. Let's talk about this series, because this one, I just think this is all about who gets last ball. Carolina, Nashville. Carolina takes a 2-0 lead. Nashville goes back home. They tie it at 2. They had the lead in Carolina. They give it up. Carolina takes now a 3-2 series lead. They're back in Nashville. What are your thoughts on this series? To me, this has been the most fun to watch, just from a fan perspective, because both their fans are nuts, and I love it. I absolutely love it, man.
Look, I think Carolina's underperforming. I'll be honest with you. Nashville's a good team. Don't get me wrong. And I know, Mitch, you picked them, and the reason I believe was because of goaltending. Nashville's a good team too. There's a lot of good players, but I do think Carolina's underperforming this round, in my opinion.
Yeah, you know what? I actually will agree with you. And I know Johnny Hockey's going to blush when we say this. It was a great pick. Carolina's a good pick, but I think they're starting to just get going. And if they end up winning this, Carolina, Tampa Bay, man, there's another good little series that we could see. Nashville, I'm not going to lie. I know I took Nashville. I didn't expect them to go this far, but I'm telling you, man, there's something about the home ice advantage. Nashville truly has it, especially in the playoffs when it comes. But if that's true, let's say they win game 3, it'll go back to Carolina. Carolina will win. So I'm expecting it Carolina, Tampa Bay in a couple of days. That's what I'm expecting. Let's go over to the West. We already said Colorado won. Now it's Minnesota, Vegas. Again, I'm throwing these out there. I'm throwing the little heaters. They're getting by you guys. I don't know what's going on. But you called it, my friend. I have to give you accolade. You said Vegas is a slow starter. But Minnesota, there's just something about this team. They got some talent. They got some veterans. They got the goaltending. They got a great home ice advantage as well. But so does Vegas. I think Vegas is kind of playing a team very similar / just in a boring city compared to them. I almost feel like these teams are very replica of each other. So going game 7 like they're about to, not that surprised.
I'm not that surprised either, right? Because look, on paper, this should be something that Vegas, they should be all over them, right? Like you would think that Minnesota just needs time to play together and develop some of their younger players that have contributed huge in the regular season. But yeah, I think Vegas, it's almost like, you look at some games, and I think it was like game 3 where they just rocked the socks out of Minnesota. And then they just revert back to this, let's just be defensive, take our time. You go attack them, crush them, kill them. Like the players that Vegas has, they should be so lucky, Mitch, that people want to go and play there. Like Stone, Pacioretty, Peter Angelo. You're attracting the top tier, and I don't know. I get it. Peter DeBoer, the guy's kind of just been there, did it in Jersey, did it with San Jose, but has never got it. Is he the right coach for this team? Do you need a guy to go in there and just open the floodgates, get fired after 3 years, but at least you got a cup? I'm worried for Vegas, because the reality is they're going into game 7 where anything can happen. But if Vegas is going to say anything, game 6, they could have very easily won. It was a turn of events. Like, I don't think that Minnesota really crushed them 3-0 or whatever the final score was, but it was 0-0 and then just a shitty turn of events. And then there's a goal called back as well. Right. So it was just, they got to put it in their heads that they're the better team. But Mitch, I would hate to be a Vegas fan having to watch this year after year.
Well, I won't lie to you. Even though I picked Minnesota and I picked Nashville, the true reality is I would rather have the other teams that I didn't pick play, because then all of a sudden you got a Las Vegas, Colorado. That's much more appealing to me than Colorado versus Minnesota. Just from a standpoint, I think it would be more fun.
Yeah.
However, just for the sake of being right, I need Minnesota to win this. This is essential to my picking. I need this one. This one's big. This one's big for me. So then what does that leave? We go to the north. I always leave Canada for last. Why? Because we have things to say, my friend. Let's start with the biggest, or the capital of the world, the Toronto Maple Leafs, up 3-1 against the Montreal Canadiens, their arch nemesis of the world. Score is 3-1 Montreal at the moment. Montreal. So before this podcast, I had written in my notes, this game to me proves a lot. And I'll tell you why. Even though I think Toronto's still going to pull it off, maybe not tonight, but they'll pull it off in front of those 2,500 enduring fans in Montreal next game. My big thing is simply this. I need to see Toronto do something that I haven't seen them do in a very long time. And that's break the neck of their competition. Forget game 7s. We know they can't compete in a game 7. Tonight would have been a really good example. If they end up pulling off this win, more accolades, I'll throw more at them. But right now, being down 3-1, I'm not super surprised. But next game, they have to snap the neck of the competition. Enough is enough. They've got the players. Yeah. They got some goalies. They got the defense. They got everything. There's no reason they shouldn't be able to win this game. Being down 3-1 in Toronto right now, and especially they're up 3-1 in the series, no excuse. Toronto, you're on warning.
Look, there is no excuse, miss. I don't want to jump the gun. I do think they're going to close out Montreal. Heck, they could. I know it's 3-1 right now, Montreal on the power play, but they could still even come back and win this game as well. But you're right. They do have to snap the neck of the competition. Like, enough is enough. Like, you can't, again, you have the players, and even without John Tavares, you should crush the Montreal Canadiens. And, I was thinking about this for a bit because, and guilty here too, because I said it, Montreal is not a team you want to play against because Montreal is fast and they're this. You know what? Forget that. I don't want to give any excuses. You know what, Toronto? You got to put your money where your mouth is. You can't have excuse year after year, and you can't just be a franchise knowing that you sell out because your corporate buyers will always fill out your stadiums in a perfect world, and you're Toronto. You're the center of the universe in Canada, and you'll always get a pass. Yeah, you'll take the heat. Yeah, you'll miss the playoffs for 20 years, but you guys will always get the pass. Look, regardless, this year, they don't make the cut. If they can't get to the final, then you blow it up because, look, basically, your GM just put everything into Bitcoin. So either you're going to make a bunch of money or it's going to tank bad. But this is the year. I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to hear I don't want to hear any Toronto, Maple Leafers out there say, well, I'm scared because it's Montreal. Forget about it. Okay. There does come a year when you got to beat Boston. There does come a year when you have to beat Montreal. There does come a year, especially when you got the team to come out of this division. It was handcrafted for you. This year, this was handcrafted for the Toronto Maple Leafs to advance to the Final Four minimum. So that's all.
I couldn't agree with you more. And the only thing I worry about Toronto, who scored last game? Jason Spezza, Joe Thornton. What is this, 2008? What's going on here? What's going on here? Like, I think it's great that they're scoring, but they shouldn't be scoring. Do you know what I'm saying? They are the locker room guys. You know why everyone talks about we need locker room guys. If they're producing, that's awesome. Hey, Mitchie, where are you? Mitch, where are you?
You know how I feel about the Mitch.
Austin, you scored. I've seen you score a couple times, but you scored 40. Where are you? Nylander, you had a good couple of first games. Where have you been since? Don't.
And
getting a lot of money. Getting a lot of money.
Toronto, don't blame the goalie again. I don't want to hear any Campbell. I don't want to hear any Anderson. I don't want to hear anything come out of your guys' mouth about goaltenders not playing well. Those guys have both been playing well. Forget about it.
And against Carey Price, I mean, generationally, especially over the last 10 years, there's no better goalie than Carey Price. So the fact that you guys are up 3-1 and they've been your goalies, or Jack Campbell's been your goalie, no excuses. Where are you guys? It's time for you guys to show up. Tavares, granted, you haven't been playing.
Yep.
Where are you? Get back. It was one game. It was first game. All right. Get back to work. I don't know what they're doing over there.
I'm just saying.
All right. Hold on a second. Watch this.
You son of a.
That wasn't for you. You know what that was? That was a swig of whiskey for my boys in Edmonton. Boys. All right. Last week on this very podcast, the score was 0-0. I made a fair bet and trade. I said, hey, I don't like that everybody's on the Edmonton train. I don't like this. I don't like it one bit. I said, you know what? I'm taking Winnipeg. I'm going to take it. I'm going to reverse my call. But I'll tell you this. I didn't expect 4 straight games, Edmonton. Connor McDavid, best player in the hockey of all hockeys. KHL, EuroLeague, whatever you want. He's the best. Draisaitl, he might be the second best player. You guys couldn't win one game against Winnipeg. Not to say that Winnipeg's a bad team, because last week I said this on the podcast. Good team. They got a lot of great players. Did you know, Dimitri? I checked it up. Actually, you know who told me? My stat guy. My dad calls me, says, hey, Winnipeg was 4,000 to 1 odds to sweep in this series. A simple $100 bet. And me and you are in Vegas this week, COVID shots or not. You know what I'm trying to say? Game changers. All I'm saying to you is that at the end of the day, Edmonton, we have a lot to say here. We got the whole rest of the podcast to talk about this. Dimitri, how surprised were you that Edmonton couldn't even win a game? But more importantly, what happened with Edmonton?
I'm extremely surprised, Mitch. Extremely surprised for 2 things: that they got swept and that they don't have one tough bone on that team.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you what, the guy that we made fun of is the guy you should have kept. The Luch. You should have kept the
Luch. Yes.
When you look at the roster, I'm not going to sit here and proclaim that just because you have a Connor McDavid, you're entitled to win the Stanley Cup. Yes, Winnipeg is a fantastic team. They got a lot of great players. We understand that. But I can't understand it against the Edmonton Oilers. And I can't understand how this team got beat up that bad. They got beat up. They got outworked, outmuscled, outbeat. And I'm going to throw shade on one guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's you, Connor McDavid, for a couple reasons. Yeah, for a couple reasons. Reason number one, I'm sorry to say, but the puck is not just going to be where you want it to be in order for you to excel in the playoffs. People are on to that. They play for that. That's part of the game, especially when you're playing the same person day in, day out, or same team day in, day out in a 7-game series. So yeah, you got to suck it up. You got to be like the Jonathan Taves. Let's talk cup winners, Mitch. That'll go anywhere. The Crosbys, the Ovechkins when he finally did it. These guys will go anywhere. That's how you got to play. Or at least one of you on that line has to play. But if you think for a second that you can just go on the power play and hope for the best and win a Stanley Cup, you got another thing coming. And the second part, I don't want to hear you at this point in your career going up on the podium and saying, you know, contrary to whatever, we learned a lot and I'm really happy. No, you shouldn't be happy.
Mm-mm.
Okay? You should go out there and start blasting your team. I'm serious. Take responsibility,
100%.
blast everyone. To say that, to sit on a podium And to say that regardless of people think your standard is higher, well, then my friend, you may have a high standard for the way you play hockey, but you sure have a really bad standard for the way that for your team. I'm sorry. This is unacceptable. Not good enough. I don't care. And for anyone who wants to sit here and say that Mitch and I, oh, it's easy to be a fan. Well, it is easy to be a fan, but this is not the standard that people should have. And you'll see the team that wins the Stanley Cup. What are people going to say? Character. Everyone pitched in. Everyone did this. You got to grit it out. You got to play tough, blah, blah, blah. Here's a news flash for you. Sidney Crosby already won a Stanley Cup in your position. Jonathan Taves already won a Stanley Cup in your position. Okay? Mike Richards and Carter in the LA, those guys, they won a Stanley Cup in your position. Getzlaf did it in your okay? So these guys that were top of their draft class and top of the class in phenoms, they won cups in your position already. Okay? Mario Lemieux, Wayne Gretzky, they already did it. So I'm sorry, your little standard talk, not good enough for me. That's what disappointed me the most, Mitch, out of the whole business.
You know, earlier we talked about how does Boston keep winning? You said it. And I kind of alluded to it. They are willing to make those sacrifices. They see the bigger picture down the line. The Edmonton Oilers, a lot like the Calgary Flames, and I don't want to really bring Calgary into what they shouldn't be brought into because this is Edmonton's time. The reality is losing 4 straight to Winnipeg. Not that that's a bad thing. Look, Winnipeg's a good team. Like, and I'm not saying because I picked them or whatever. Truthfully, they are a good team. But you guys were the number 2 seed in the North. You guys have the best player, the guy that scored 104 points in 53 games, the second leading scorer, Draisaitl, right there. The point of the matter here is this is a managerial problem. This is a problem where you guys think that you guys have the right team and you don't. Darnell Nurse, I love the guy. I think he's a gritty, great defenseman. You guys are making him out to be that he's the greatest defenseman to ever, like better than Paul Coffey when Edmonton had them and or Chris Pronger when he was there. He's not. He's a good hardcore defense, but he doesn't score goals, you guys. He, with all due respect, he can't even stop these superstars right now because they are all so good. So Darnell played like an hour straight, basically, and all that. He's a great story. He's a good defenseman. He should be on this team. But if that's your third best player, you guys got a problem. Adam Larson, you guys traded him 1-for-1 for Taylor Hall. He's okay. He's not Taylor Hall quality good as much as I hate Taylor Hall. The GM came out the other day and said that, hey, I'm Kenny Holland. I'm okay. Mike Smith actually had a good season. Okay, yeah, for a 38-year-old goalie, sure. You're okay with re-signing him again? By you saying the Luch should come back, maybe that's the answer. I know the money was a lot, but there's something that he brought in, and he said this week about the Flames as well. The mentality has to change. The Nuge, you guys are all holding on to the Nuge the way Calgary held on to Iginla. You have to let go. Finally, I'm going to say this. If that didn't break your hearts this week, that you guys lost 4-0, the greatest player of your organization, Wayne Gretzky, your vice chairman, your what's his exact? He's the alternate governor of the Edmonton Oilers. He quit this week to be a TNT analyst. You guys, even the greatest player of all time, the guy has a statue in the front of your Coliseum, in front of your arena, said, "Meh, I'm going to TNT to hang out with Shaquille O'Neal." Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I've made this claim before, and now I stand by it more than ever. And you hate it.
Mitch.
Old cousin Jim hates it.
Don't do it, Mitch.
And everyone, but
you
Connor,
go too far.
No, Connor, listen. You want to win a cup, Connor? Ask for a trade. Ask for a trade. No one's going to hold it against you. You're a MAGA. You've done your due. You've done your due. You've done your thing with Edmonton. Go. And hey, Edmonton, you're going to get a lot back. You're going to get those guys that are going to go in the corner. You're going to get that defenseman. You might even get that goalie. And I promise you this, you're all going to erect a statue of me right in front when it happens. Because I'm telling you, it's not because I don't like him. He's a MAGA, but he can bring you so much more. Just saying. There it is. Edmonton, I don't know what to say anymore. But damn, I'm hot right now on my NHL picks. I'm hot, baby. I'm hot.
No,
I love it.
You go
I'm
too
telling
far. You go too far.
I didn't go far enough. You know what else I think? No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. All right. From there, let's talk a little bit about, let's just change gears. What is Edmonton doing right now as we speak? They're getting their cleats on. They're going to the golf course. Let's quickly talk about the PGA that happened this weekend. 50-year-old Phil Mickelson said, hey, hold my cappuccino because I don't drink beer anymore. I'm going to rock the world. And he did. Dude, another event that had fans coming back. I don't know if you saw him walk into the 18th hole after he made that amazing shot.
Is that Happy Gilmore? I honestly thought you were watching Happy Gilmore, man.
Dude, when will Phil ever have that many people if Tiger is not on the same? Like, that was almost Tiger-esque. That's how much people were excited to see him succeed and do what he was doing. Well done, Mr. Mickelson. Well done. Did you watch any of it? What'd you like about it? Anything?
Well, I like the fact that it wasn't like a last minute surge story. I like the fact that this was, you're watching Mickelson really from the onset, and it made that whole weekend that much more exciting. Right. But what I will say is you learn something about golf is that he's at an age, he's not out driving anyone, especially the whole class in the last 5 years. They're going further. But it just goes to show like what it takes to win, what it takes to actually win a tournament is that you got to be consistent. You got to be sharp. You got to be smart. The discipline of golf always impresses me. And that's nice to see. So, to have someone rally around is this guy's just a really, really good golfer. And it was just really cool to watch. And I think that people should take notice about what it takes to win a championship in that type of game. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was really cool, Mitch.
I thought it was excellent. I love the fact that golf still lets these older guys play. Well, not let them play, but that they're able to play with the younger generation and that they can do what they did this weekend. I think it was, and Tiger doing it last year, winning the Masters and everything. 28,000 to 1. If you pick Mickelson, 28,000 to 1, man. That's all I'm going to say. That's amazing. Like, this is what I'm talking about, right? Like, this is exactly why golf is an amazing sport where it doesn't matter how old you are. You can still roll with these guys. And you're absolutely right. You're not going to outshoot these guys, but you can outthink them. You can out-strategize them and use your prowess to win that game. But unfortunately, Phil's accolade of winning didn't last very long because moments later, there's so Brooks Koepka was second place. He ended up at one moment he was leading. Then he ended up losing and blah, blah, blah. So they're doing an interview with him. Little did the world know, and maybe some huge golf enthusiasts knew this, but there's a little beef situation going on. So Brooks is doing the interview. All of a sudden, the big man, Bryce DeChambeau, this is the guy that eats like 6 omelets, 100 protein shakes a day, comes walking by, mummers something at him, walks behind his shot, and Brooks loses it on TV, doesn't like him. And ever since, obviously the internet world and social media got a hold of this, and they have been just playing with it. But these guys haven't been shy. They've been taking shots at each other back and forth. Dimitri, your thoughts on Bryce and Brooks going at it? And then just yesterday, sorry to break it up, it was announced Aaron Rodgers and DeChambeau versus Tom Brady and Phil. I think they got to get Phil. No offense, even though you won. Bring in the Brooks. Now we got ourselves a nice little golf tournament.
Now we're talking. This is Mitch. Do we have to write this for everybody? Like, let's be honest.
I think we already did.
I think we just did. Yeah. Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome. But going back to the thing, I like the trash talk. Don't get me wrong. If you're asking me the question, do I like that they're going back and forth? Excellent. Good publicity for the game. It's keeping people interested. And why not? From time to time, people love rivalries. I mean, what else makes the Sports Center top 10, right? So you need these rivalries. What I don't like is, at the end of the day, love the guy or hate the guy. It is a professional sport. If a guy's doing an interview, let him do the interview. You know what I mean? Like I thought for me, and I love the controversy. I love the controversy. But I thought even for me, that was a little tasteless and a little too much. As much as it was entertainment, let a guy do an interview, my opinion.
I hear you. I thought the same until I found out why they have a beef. It's rapper beef, by the way. Let me tell you why. In 2018, 2019, Brooks and a couple of other golfers, but him specifically, were complaining that Bryson was taking too long. He's taking too long to line up his shots. He's playing too long. Hey, if you're going to be a tattletale, get ready for the bully to come over and slap you one. So as much as I don't like, like this is petty. Let's just call it is. This is petty. Yeah. But at the end of the day, Brooks, you kind of started the fight. The guy, now here's the thing. Bryson's I'm going for the green on every shot. And he uses analytics. He literally sits there with his calculator. He's like, wind velocity, 5 omelets equals this trajectory, whatever. Brooks doesn't like it. He says, hey, I want to play fast. I on that end, as a golfer, I like what Brooks is saying. I like to play fast too. But on the other end, hey, whose fault is it? This is why they need to duke it out. One-on-one skins game. Forget Aaron, forget Brady. Let these guys go at it. Money and mano, money and money.
Look, we're in the era of celebrity fights again, Mitch. I'm just saying, Triller.
Why not golf? They don't have to fight each other. Golf it. Skins game.
Or a no holds barred WWE match with the clubs. You can use the clubs as well. Yeah. An 18-hole cage match.
Like it. I like that. That's not bad. You know what?
It's better than a zombie lumberjack. It's better than a zombie lumberjack.
Way better than the zombie lumberjack. From there, my friend, let's jump over to the NBA really quickly. Rather than talk about all the games, let's quickly highlight one or two. Do you have a game you want to highlight? Do you want me to go first? What do you want?
You know what? Yeah, I'll go. I got it on cue. Look, the way I'm looking at things right now, I'm actually liking what I'm seeing in the NBA. I'm not going to highlight just one series. I'm actually going to talk about very quickly the whole landscape. Why, you ask? Because it's the first time in a long time that we're actually seeing a first round in the NBA that might go past 5 games. And a lot of games like that. So I'm actually been really excited to be able to watch some of these games. Like, look, I understand that Brooklyn, if we're trending, there's going to be a couple teams like Brooklyn and maybe Milwaukee that'll run through. Realistically, Brooklyn on paper is the team to beat right now. And I think what's going on. However, I've learned something about this NBA. There's a lot of good players. There's a lot of good teams. If you look in the case of a team like the Denver Nuggets, you miss one of those guys, you're in trouble. Doesn't matter if they get past the first round. That's not a championship winning team. Jokic can't do it himself. But I'm telling you, man, I'm actually excited for the first time in the NBA. 90% of round 1 is not 4-game sweeps.
Yeah. You know what? Good interpretation. I have to admit, I'll highlight one game and maybe two. I ended up watching the last quarter of the New York Knicks versus the Atlanta Hawks yesterday. So Trae Young had a big mouth after game 1 where they took over, and then the Knicks fans and the Knicks players all said, "Oh, really? Oh, okay. Let's see what you have to say about this." And you know what? It was nice to see the New York Knicks play. They ended up winning. They won by 9. Derrick Rose, ex-MVP, who's been around. He had a little bit of a mental illness situation. He's back. He was the leading scorer of the whole game with 26 points. There's something about when the New York teams, especially the New York Knicks in this case, are back in the playoffs and that atmosphere and the COVID, man, it was fun to watch. I really enjoyed it. Neither one of these teams will go far, but it was nice to see playoff basketball back in New York.
Especially the Knicks, Mitch. Especially the Knicks.
Man. There's just something you got to kind of cheer for them. I couldn't agree more. Yeah. In the West, listen, man, as much as I want to make fun of Utah, I don't really want to talk about that series. Is Utah versus Memphis. Talk about the worst first round matchup of all time. Phoenix Lakers, I could easily sit on that one. Forget it. It's Dallas and the Clippers. Look, I was the first one to say it. I think the Dallas is too young. Luka is telling me right now, shut your mouth, Mitch. You don't know what you're talking about. Take your Winnipeg Jets because you're awesome there. But don't talk about my Mavericks. because, dude, this kid is fire. He is unbelievable. I thought the Clippers would have learned their lesson from last year. They clearly are not. They're down 2-0. Man, Dallas and Luka are just, it's just fun to watch. If you get a chance, watch that game. It's really, really good. Really, really good series.
Mitch, what's the guy? 22?
That's what I'm saying, man.
This is what we're getting at 22. And, if memory serves me correct, I don't think that Denver was the team, or excuse me, Dallas was the team that drafted this gentleman.
I believe. I'm sorry, that I don't know.
Yeah, I think you know what? I'll look it up here, but I'm almost positive that it was Atlanta that drafted this guy.
I think you might be right.
Right? Like, hold on, Doncic draft. I'm
draft it. Pick it up, and you know what? Wow, does Atlanta look like
Atlanta Hawks? Yes, they did. I knew they did in a few years ago. The Atlanta Hawks drafted. He was sent to Dallas. Now, this is going to be a good debate, Mitch, for Trae Young. Now, good move, bad move.
Well, look, they're both young. They both have a lot to prove. But as of right now, it's a bad move. I mean, I don't think there's anybody in this league that would say, and Trae Young's a my guy, don't get me wrong, but no one's going to take Luka or Trae Young over Luka ever again. No way.
There's something to be said about some of these European players. If we look, now let's just take a look at the landscape for a sec, Mitch, of some of the top players in the NBA. You have Giannis from Greece, 2-time MVP. Here's a guy after LeBron James. He's the guy on the All-Star team. Okay.
Yeah.
Lighting it up. Who are the other? Jokic, Serbian. Doncic, Slovenian. Although Serbian, if you ask my father, it's a family touchy subject.
It's a thing.
Anyways,
I
can't go there.
Walk away.
Look, he's Serbian. Okay. I just have to say it. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to come home single. Okay.
Hey, you'll find out later on another podcast why that's important.
But the reality is players from Europe.
Dude,
take notice, everyone.
Are you reading my notes?
No, I'm not reading.
Euroball is in.
Look,
done. End of the conversation.
Where's Zion? Okay. So NBA GMs, you guys got to take notice. Now, why does Dallas have him? Because a guy like Mark Cuban had Dirk Nowitzki. He had the German, greatest German basketball player of all time, where he looked, I want a team around this. He looked at that kid. Yeah, I'll take him. No problem. So NBA, give a little more respect to the emerging players that are coming out from Europe.
Yep, it's true, man. It's a true factor. I mean, you said it. Yanni 2-time. Jokic is about to win his first, and Luka is about to win 10 more. So yes,
he's 22. He's not even close to the prime.
Yeah. Well, dude, you know what's creepy is like, if this is not his prime, what does his prime look like? Creepy. But you know what's not creepy? Rapid banter. You ready, partner?
I'm ready, partner.
All right. Hold on. Here we go. A California woman did the unthinkable. She tore up and threw away a lottery ticket for $26 million. How does she get over this?
Well, if you're the Atlanta Hawks, you're okay with tearing up a lottery ticket.
That's a good one. Drake and The Weeknd basically won all in every category at the Billboard Music Awards this past weekend. Is music Canada's new game, not hockey?
Well, I think they should spend a weekend at the Drake Hotel to celebrate.
Yanni's posted an Instagram photo of eating a corn dog. He loved it. Ketchup or mustard or
tzatziki.
You see, this is why I know you read my notes. This is why I know.
Teach this, Mitch. You can't.
Blake Wheeler in Game 4 versus the Oilers blocked the shot using his crotch. Win it out at all costs, or I was not looking to do that.
I'd say it's a dick move, but you know what? Sorry, Edmonton.
Las Vegas strip clubs offering the vaccine with free lap dance. Thoughts?
They don't need to be worried about COVID in those clubs.
Julio Jones wants out of Atlanta. Where will he go?
Detroit?
New England is the right answer. Dylan Brooks, who? Memphis Grizzlies player who scored 31 points in game 1 versus the Jazz. He's from Mississauga. Should the Raptors trade for him?
I'm surprised the Maple Leafs haven't.
Kim Kardashian has been trying to become a lawyer, and her first attempt at writing the bar has failed. What advice do you give her to get the passing grade for the next time?
Probably study.
Kim, you son of a gun. OTAs have begun in the NFL, rookies and players. Aaron Rodgers earlier this week said and told the reporters that, hey, I like Jordan Love. I got no ill will. But all 5 starting wide receivers did not go to the OTAs. Aaron, be nice. Or maybe the GM should start looking for a new job.
A little bit of both, Mitch. A little bit of both.
Last one, WWE's Alexa Bliss and has a beloved pet pig. And the pig this week was refused service by vets. Is this pig discrimination or pork chops, anyone?
Hey, man, this is Animal Farm 3.0.
There it is, rapid banter.
There's a good rapid banter, bitch. Well done.
You know what? I put a lot of thought into it because I thought we were doing it yesterday. So I was really cleaning up my notes yesterday, but we didn't. But you know what's even better than rapid banter? It's MAGA or Malaka. So last week, you loved the fact that I asked you, would you rather be the GOAT of curling or be a jobber in the WWE? Yeah. So then earlier today, I said, would you rather be the GOAT of snooker or darts? Here's the thing. There's a lot of other sports outside of NHL, MLB, NFL, blah, 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 right? So I said to myself, hey, if you could be the GOAT of any one of these sports that I'm about to say, is it a MAGA or a Malaka?
Okay,
are you ready?
Okay.
Here we go.
Man. I'm curious to see what sports you came up with.
Here we go. Right off the bat, this one's for old cousin Jim. Broomball, MAGA or Malaka? Be the GOAT of broomball. Oh, what is it, you ask? It's hockey with a broomstick on ice and shoes. No skates. Go.
Malaka. Sorry, old cousin Jim. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, no. Old cousin Jim hates broomball because we have a friend. He was very passionate about broomball. Jason, you know who you are. And we constantly made fun of you. So broomball, yeah, there's no GOAT. There's no GOAT in broomball. There's no GOAT.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, no. From there, let's go over to surfing. MAGA or Malaga? Would you want to be the surfing GOAT?
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding? I'd love to win the Spicoli Championship. MAGA.
MAGA. Well, here's one. It's heavy in Europe, not so heavy here in North America. Handball. MAGA or Malaka?
Only because if you're European, you understand the severity of being a handball champion. So give me MAGA.
MAGA on the handball.
Yeah. Put a broom in my hand. Don't want it.
Don't want it.
I want to win a championship on my talents.
So let's say you move over to Japan, Dimitri, and they make you a sumo wrestler. You as you are, the size you are, MAGA or Malaka, sumo wrestling. GOAT.
Well, are you kidding? To be the real Yokozuna? MAGA.
So in Norway, the big sport, cross-country skiing, MAGA or Malaka?
Malaka. It's not for me, man.
So how are you the GOAT in Norway for, like, you know what? Too many things. I'm going to move on.
Let's move on.
I just got to move on. Here's one. I said it earlier. Okay, you don't have to choose, but I'm giving you the option. Snooker. Do you want to be the GOAT of snooker? MAGA or Malaka?
Yeah, I think the GOAT in snooker. Yeah, man. Hey, I still remember Stephen Hendry.
See, the reason I don't want to, I'll tell you what, and I think it's because of COVID. You got to dress up too much. 3-piece suit, vest. It's a lot of constriction. You know what I mean?
A lot of credibility in the sport, Mitch.
And you got like an armband, and you got to look presentable. You got to have the shots down. It's too much pressure. Just
you know who I give credit to in snooker is the people like the white glove guys that put the balls back.
Yes,
do it so quick. Have you ever tried to? I can't even rack a billiard table. I got to take my time, put it together, take the triangle out. I'm like,
yeah,
guys are like,
very nice. Steady hands. Steady hands. They must be bricklayers. Bricklayers, those guys. How about the caber toss? What's that you say? Well, if you've ever watched the Highland games, that's where they basically run around with telephone poles and flip them. That's the caber toss. Maga or Malacca.
I'm going to go Malacca. I'd rather have an Olympic sport equivalent.
So here's the thing. It would be cool to be the goat of it, but how do you practice? Honey, I'm just going to go practice I got to load up my car with my with my telephone pole. Like, what kind of car do these guys drive? Like, semis with.
I'm worried that the caber toss might not exist. The way this world's going, some environmentalists will tell them to shut it down, Mitch.
Oh yeah, good luck. I dare you to go tell these.
They're gonna have to go synthetic tree.
Synthetic tree. It's true. It's so true.
Hey, they've already done it for wine bottles, Mitch. They'll do it to the caber.
Couple more. Bosa ball. What's that? It's volleyball meets trampolining, and in the sport of the Brazilian capoeira music, it's basically jumping around on a trampoline and playing volleyball, but with your feet. Would you like to be the goat of that? Maga or Malacca?
No. Hard no.
The fact that it's huge in Brazil, I disagree with you, partner. I'm full Maga on that one. That's full Maga. Here's one, and I think you would be extremely amazing at this. In Malta, it's the Gostra. What's this game? Let's see here. You grease up a pole every August at the end of August. Men run up a greasy pole and try to grab flags on it. Personally, I think you would be amazing at this. The game of Gostra, Maga or Malacca.
You know what? I don't think there's enough money in the sport for me, so I'm going to go Malacca.
I disagree. I think your gout might have some sort of advantage because you have better gripping with your big foot to go up the pole. The greasy pole.
Foot. Sure,
your swollen foot going up the greasy pole. I think it would be. I'm going to say Maga for you. I'm going to write this down. Yeah. Okay. Here, second last one. The game of bandy. What's that? It's hockey. Literally, it's hockey, but with a floor hockey ball. Bandy. So it's floor hockey, but on ice.
Oh, yeah. Maga. Maga. Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But here's my thing. If you're skating and you got the same equipment on and everything's the same, and the only difference is that orange ball versus the puck, what's the problem is? Well, why aren't you playing hockey?
I argue it's harder. I argue it's harder.
All right, fair enough. Last one. Here it is. Cornhole. In North America, it's a big game. In fact, it's on ESPN. Would you want to be the GOAT of cornhole? Dimitri, Maga, or Malacca?
I don't need to be in the sport to be the GOAT of that.
There it is.
Why do you do this to me, man?
I picked sports that I saw that were relevant and fit the narrative.
Hold on a sec. I got two that I just thought of right now.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, Maga or Malacca, beer pong.
You know what? There comes a time when you got to say, so at my age now, no, but when I was in 18 to like 25, absolutely. I'd want to be the GOAT of beer pong.
Okay. And last but not least, maybe your favorite, would you want to be the GOAT of basketball?
The answer is absolutely. And guess what? I already am. Damn you, partner. Damn it.
I can't even. Anyways, like I said, you know what? We'll take this for another side conversation. Sure, you can ask me about it. Will I tell you no? But maybe if you get me drunk enough in a beer pong game, I might spill the beans. Look, reality is, let's get to the brass tacks of it at Rlrt podcast. If you're on Instagram and Twitter, remember, if you're on Facebook, you can just search us by typing in Real Locker Room Talk. On YouTube, please check out the brand new Rlrt TV YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe to it. We really appreciate it. And of course, on our podcast channels, Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, Real Locker Room Talk, episode 167. But look, we do got to shove it in the locker because we got to hit the showers.
See you later, everyone. Have a good night and a great week.
Whew, this was a good
How
episode.
dare you bring up basketball, you son of a bitch. I thought we had an honor code in this locker room. And by the way, at the very beginning, you saying what you said, and I'm not going to repeat it to give it any accolades. You son of a bitch. What's wrong with you? I already did the
I
thing.
don't know. I've never ended an episode where I feel like I've worked out. I feel like I worked out here. I'm tired.
There was a lot of work.
I know we got Mathro after this, but I'm tired, Mitch. I need a break.
I'll tell you why. Because it was good. Great episode.
Was it good for you?
It was great for me. Thank you.
You did go back, didn't you?
No, swear to God. No.
You went back.
No. You know what? You could send the call. Put the call through. Put the call through. The Hodge is the man. Never.
Did you at least put an order in? Did you get a refund?
Orders are put through. Sure. But no.